Okay, this is a U.S. General Harbor Freight 5-drawer toolbox that you can get for $169. So we're going to put it together. It's going to be my electrical toolbox. It comes with four keys. All right, these are all the parts that come with it. Various parts. Owner's manual. And look at these casters. These casters are really heavy duty. I mean, that's some heavy duty stuff. And of course you have the toolbox itself. And I can tell you, it was flawlessly packed. And there is not a scratch on anything. This looks like, and with a coupon, I think I paid like I think it was $169. And nothing else compares to this for quality for that price. I looked at some Craftsman units and they were junk and they were almost double the price. Of course, everything is made in China, including the Craftsman, so, you know, oh well. Let's get started. All right, according to the directions, we're going to do the casters on the plate. There's the plate, there's the casters. All right, it says use 22A, C, and B, and that seems to be in here. And I have one of these little bolt measurers, so you can cross-reference what these are. And 22A is an 8 by 20 millimeter bolt. So if you have one of these, you can measure it to make sure that's what it is. So this bolt should be an 8 by 16 millimeters. So 8, all you do is put it fits right in that 8 hole, so that's an 8. And then here is your millimeter scale. It comes up right at 16 millimeters. So that's the correct bolt. All right, here's all the wheels installed. You use something like this, it goes quick. These are some really good casters. They even have grease fittings on it. So you get a nut, a locking nut, a bolt, and a washer goes on each one of them. And you put the 2 swivels on one side, and you put the 2 fixed ones on the other side. All right, the next step is to put the legs on. Now, it's very important. They say that these are the legs, but these holes are measured differently than these holes. So the top hole from the very bottom needs to be 1 3/8 center from the top edge, which this one is. The bottom one needs to be 1 inch, which this one is, to the center. So you got to make sure that when you put it on, this is the top and this is the bottom. And you're going to use these bolts. They give you a whole bunch of them. Now, even though the directions doesn't say so, I'm going to put a little thread locker on these because it is a permanent installation. So I would do that. That's why you need one of these. Okay, here it is with the 4 posts installed. The next thing we're going to do is attach the front and back cross supports. You can tell these are the cross supports by this little thing, and these are the side cross supports. Number 5 in the instruction manual, and we're going to use all the same bolts. All right, here's one of the things that Major Weakness does that the instructions don't tell you. This lip for the sidebar, which is the short one, has to go over this one. So the screws will line up. And see, they're still not lined up, so you don't want to tighten any of these yet. Doesn't say any of that, but you don't want to tighten any of those until you get everything done. And the only reason you can tell that, well, I don't have the instructions, but you can barely see it on the instructions. Okay, in order to line all these up, all these have to be loose in order to line these up. So don't tighten these legs up, or any of these support braces, including the bottom. Just hand tighten them until you get all 4 of these on. And this tray too. Okay, now the chest lowers into here, and there's 4 bolts that go underneath the chest, and the chest would lower in. That's going to be kind of weak. And if you don't have 2 people, you can use one of those Harbor Freight lifts to lift this thing up. So you can get it in there, because this thing is heavy. So you see, use this. Oops, got to put the camera down. Well, you've got to have 2 people. That hoist, if it wasn't for that hoist, I couldn't have done it. But I got to put the bolts in here, tighten it up. I got to figure out why these drawers aren't opening. Hopefully it's something simple. All right, the reason these drawers don't open is because there's a little switch underneath each one of them. So you have to pull this and then pull it. And this is some protective film I'll be pulling off, you see. But you got to push that and then it opens. All right, let me finish building this thing. Whew, thought it was broken. Now you got to put these little braces in here. But again, don't tighten anything on these all the way. On both sides, do not tighten them. Let Major Weakness make these mistakes so you don't have to. And again, I would put thread locker on these. So here we go, got 3 more to go. Now this side handle, when you put these braces in right here, you've got to go through here and into that bracket. So don't put those on without going through the handle first. Okay, you see? Now I also purchased this tray, which is an accessory that goes on the side of it. And when you go to put these corner brackets in, I assume they're going to attach right here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up and install that before I tighten everything down. Okay, this tray comes with its own set of instructions, the tray, and its own set of bolts. And the only difference is you put this spacer between the tray, put the bolt through it. So I'll take these out. So you put the spacer right here, you put the bolt through it, and it'll fold down. I'll show you when I'm done. Wow, I got a big problem. They sold me the shelf for the smaller unit. They don't make a black one for the large unit, so they sold me the wrong one. But I'm not going to take it back. I'm still going to use it. The only difference is the holes don't line up. The other one would come to about right here. I'm going to drill some holes in it and make it work. It's not worth dealing with them there at the store, so I'll make it work. Weak. So I'm going to level this, bring this up and level it, and punch some holes in it and drill it. You know, you can't rely on these retail store folks to say the right thing. I specifically ask them for that, but you know, people wonder why Amazon is doing so well and the brick and mortar stores are doing bad. It's not because it's ease. I mean, that's partial, but it's because you get crappy service and the retail clerks don't know what they're doing. They don't take pride in their work. Whee! Of course, some of these bolts are going to require one of these flexible head things. 13 millimeter, by the way. Everything is. One of the final assembly instructions is to attach the chest underneath with 2 of these bolts. Although it's front and rear, you can do it. It says only put 2 and it only shows 2 in the front and it only sends you 2. So we'll see, I might put 4, but that's 1 there. All right, the only thing that they screwed up on in these directions is they should have given me 4 bolts like this in a separate pack, but they gave me 2 bolts and 2 carriage bolts, but you always got to have a good supply, so I had extra. And last but not least, we're going to put the handle on the roof. Okay, this is the final product. This thing is awesome. It's got hydraulic shocks. Those will probably be the first thing that goes out. But very heavy duty drawers. Much better than anything I've seen for the same price. Look how far that opens. Very good construction. I mean, look, that's a huge drawer. This is going to be for my electrical components. This thing is really good, and even though they make a red one you can put on it that probably is a little bit bigger, but I bought the wrong one, but I just drilled some extra holes. So that's all I need. So anyway, hope that helps. Take care. Subscribe, please, and like. And there it is. It's turned into my electrical toolbox. Thanks for watching. Hope it helps. I say it's worth every penny.